Probably the number one question that you ask is, how do I know what my purpose in life is? We're going to spend a whole week on this starting today, coming up next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. Oh my goodness, is that good stuff? What am I drinking? Headbangers Brew. Our new and improved Headbangers Brew, there it is. And whole bean, ground, and decaf. I know, it's the best decaf you'll ever have. I'm drinking it right now. So I've never done decaf, really, until I realized I was drinking too much coffee. Yeah, too much caffeine. And so I drink the regular in the morning, and then when I've had enough, I do a little decaf, and I've had enough, and it's time for the decaf. But I love this stuff. And you can get that, folks, and our mugs. Here's our mug of the month, by the way. My eyes are fixed on Jesus. And it's the mug, it's the poster, and it's a t-shirt. And you can get all of that right here at wearemetalwearefamily.com. Here's our question. Dear Pastor Bob, I worked a variety of jobs from 1988 until 2015. Anxiety and depression became a battle. And since 2015, my passion has been raising my boys to be righteous men and good citizens. Early this morning, I asked God for help in order to find out what His purpose for my life is. I've been struggling with this for years. Well, thank you so much for the question. And again, I get this question most often. What is my passion? What is my purpose in life? You know, and beyond serving the Lord, beyond the Christian aspects, specifically me, what is my purpose? And again, we're going to spend all week on this, different aspects of it, and I hope this week helps you, because this is such an important area that you need to know about. Well, the first thing that I would say is don't overthink it. This person actually answered their own question without realizing it. And they said, you know, I had the anxiety, I had all this stuff until I realized that my passion has been raising my boys to be righteous men and good citizens. That's awesome. And then he said, early this morning, I asked God for help in order to find out what His purpose for my life is. I've been struggling with this for years. You know, I remember my dad once told me, and my parents met in seminary, and they're, you know, I was raised in the, as we say, in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, and very well. And I appreciate my parents so much. My dad was a little shy, was not, didn't like to be in crowds, and one of the wisest men that I've ever known, honestly. But he decided not to go into the ministry. Wasn't his comfort zone. He took over the family farm and was a farmer instead. And I asked him one day, you know, why did you make the decision to be a farmer instead of a pastor, instead of using your schooling? And he said this. He said, I decided when I became a father to raise a family of thoroughbreds. Thoroughbreds. Those of you that English isn't your first language, it means a thoroughbred is the best you can be, the most successful, the best behaved, and all of those things, the best of the best. And he said, I decided to raise a family of thoroughbreds. And he did. Now, You look back at any extremely successful person, and usually you find that it's the people around them that make the difference, especially family. A family, a parent, can either make or break a child. And we work with so many people who are still trying to pick up the pieces from their childhood in their 40s and 50s and 60s. Yeah, it is far-reaching, and to really raise a child in the nurture and admonition of the Lord is huge. So this is important. And this is what this person says they're doing. My passion has been raising my boys to be righteous men and good citizens. I want to tell you, first of all, there is no greater calling than to raise a family. That's the biggest one. And it's the one that I have the most respect for. So I understand what it takes. I understand what the outcome is when you do it correctly and you really spend that kind of quality time with your kids and raising them to be a certain way. Yeah. So I think this is important, and to then pray for God to show you his purpose in life when you're already living in it. You see, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. It's something that you do naturally. It comes from the heart. Let's look at a scripture that kind of talks about this, and it's Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. And it says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." And in the Amplified Bible, it says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart, your wishes, your desires, that on which your life centers, will be also." So you see, once you get that in mind, once your eyes are on the prize, whatever that prize is, that's where your heart is. And when you can do something with passion, it starts in your heart. You say, "I have a job that I hate." It's not your passion. It's not in your heart. "I'm around people that I don't enjoy." Well, it's not your passion. There are things in life that become your passion. Now, I'm not saying addictions. I'm not saying temporary thrills. I'm saying those things deep inside that drive us, our passions. Here's the Message commentary, and I'm going to read a couple verses before it also, verse 19 through 21. And it says, "Don't hoard treasure down here, where it gets all eaten by moths and corroded by rust, or worse, stolen by burglars. Stockpile treasures in heaven, where it's safe from moth and rust and burglars." It's obvious, isn't it? The place where your treasure is the place you'll most want to be and end up being, which is true. And end up being. You know, you have to follow your heart, and you can ignore it for a while and you'll return to it at some point, because where your treasure is, your heart is. And so that treasure that you've stored in heaven, those things that you've done to center your life on the Lord, is where you most want to be and where you'll end up being. Well, we're going to have a great time this week talking about different aspects of purpose and passion. I can't wait to get to tomorrow. Don't forget to join me all week long. And I want to answer this question. I want to help you to find your purpose and passion personally. So folks, don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.